So I usually start with 300 jumping jacks. Then some push-ups. I'm going to be using the TRX later, which does upper body work, but I find the shoulders and other weaker muscles get tired faster, so I like to do some push-ups to tire out the bigger chest muscles first. This is a TRX unit. There's this little webbing that you can use so you can do the anchor point down lower if you need. With our relatively low ceilings and low anchor point, I don't need it. There are a few times I want to hang these really low to the ground, and I'll hook this up like this and hook this to it, but that's quite rare. Several things you can do with it. So this just hooks in up here. Good to have it to do it in a doorway so that you can. A lot of the exercises are going to be in front of the wall, but there are some things that it's better if you can have your feet behind the anchor point. I'll show you. So it's better in a doorway. These are easily adjustable up and down. It's got a handle, it's got a little loop that I'll show you what you do with that too, and really that's all it is, but there's a surprisingly large set of exercises you can do with it. In case you're somehow confused, you're now looking at that doorway from the other side. First thing I'm going to do is squats. Don't really need TRX to do this, except that if I use TRX, so if I do a normal squat, my knee, my weight is basically over my knee, or pretty much over my knee. This is very hard on my knee with my knee problem. Much better for me if I can do a squat with my body coming down behind my knee, but the only way to do that normally would be like a wall sit or something. But with these, I can just angle myself backwards slightly and do squats like this, and that's fine. And so you can do squats. Actually, more correct would be to have these at half length. So I can extend my arms out in front of me like that. And you can do asymmetrical ones. You can do reverse lunges. All stuff that you can do without the TRX really, but in my case it's helpful for that knee problem. But there are some things that you can't really do without the TRX, like weird things like this, where you get a little bit of upper body exercise, but also flexibility, sort of the hip rotation, a little bit of stretch here. Anyway, so some lower body stuff without weights, dozens, hundreds of reps if you want. I often do those, but mostly because of my knee issue. I'm not sure I would, just with normal body weight, if I didn't have that. Oh, I forgot to say, before I reposition the camera, squat jumps too. Here I have enough ceiling height I can do a real squat jump. You might not, but squat jump just means go down, jump up. It's pretty good workout. Okay, but then the next thing is, and by the way, normally I'd cycle through these quite quickly, no breaks in between. Push-ups, sort of variety. One is not even really a push-up. If I just stand with my feet basically under the anchor point, and I put these at maximum extension, sort of go down like this, you can see my body's not very tilted. My legs are still carrying a lot of the weight. This is one of the things where it's good if you can put the TRX in a doorway so you can move your feet way behind the anchor point. Now, Now I'm closer to horizontal. This becomes much more of a workout, and I can go back even further. And now it's this stability thing that makes it good. Takes more effort than you'd think, much harder than a regular push-up. As usual, you don't want to let your stomach sag or let your body get in some funny position. So there's one more thing you can do. The reverse of that for the back muscles is the pull up, that you shorten these. And these, by the way, can shorten quite short. Shorten these. In fact, I'm going to take them up to that level. And again, the further I move my feet this way, the harder the exercise gets. Can do it with or without a hand rotation. And so on. Biceps curl. Once again, the further tilted back you are, the better this exercise is. You come back like this, so your arms are pointed straight at the connection point, and then without changing the angle of your upper arm, you still want that aimed at the connection point, you pull in the lower arm like this. Again, the further you slide this way, the harder it is. Tendency is to do it like this instead. You really have to, it takes a little discipline to leave those arms where they are and just bring your hands up towards the top of your head. There's a bunch more exercises too. Comes with a couple books full of them, but you know, basically you've seen the most of them. Oh wait, hamstring curls, right? So the biking and the squats does pretty good for my legs, leg strength, for hamstrings, for quadriceps, but nothing for hamstrings. There's a hamstring exercise too. I'll show you actually that. Comes to extend these all the way down. So lie on your back, put your feet in the loops. Angle your body up like that, and then you can either do both legs at once or one at a time. It doesn't look like much, and it doesn't feel like much the first 10 reps, but you feel it surprisingly much back here, and the next day you feel it a lot. You can also do things like widen it out. Anyway, variety of things like that. Don't let your butt droop. Keep it up. And it takes a little bit of practice to keep the weight balanced between the two. When they're asymmetrical like this, there's a tendency for one or the other to drop. The loop at the top, it won't let it move too far, but better exercise is part of sort of the training proprioception to keep the weight split like that. Other stuff you can do with the loops, as long as I'm here, you can flip over. I showed you doing kind of push-ups with the hands in the handles. You can also do it with your feet in the loops. And that's just a way of having more horizontal body position and having to do some stability at the same time. And so on. Anyway, that's TRX. I like it. They're not paying me anything. I think it's a good, easy, inexpensive workout. Take it with you. I've taken it on travel before. They actually sell a little thing that you can hook over a door, but I usually find a way to improvise somehow. And it doesn't take up much space, and I guess that's it.